2% plus for the Nifty Bank. Let's bring in our technical experts. Manav Chopra, Indiabulls Ventures, is joining in right now. Along with him, Ruchit Jain of Angel Broking is also here with us on the show. Gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us. Appreciate you taking out the time. Let's talk about the index and the strategy that you would adopt, considering today is the penultimate day to the September 26th expiry tomorrow. What would the call be on the trade on the index? Manav.
See, the markets have seen a breakdown, at least on the intraday basis. It has an important support around the levels of 11,300 and 350, which is the lower side of the rising gap pattern. I sense, barring today's days, the overall there has been a very big structural change, at least on the price wise on the Nifty index and other sectorial indices. This could be taken as a start of a profit booking or a consolidation phase, whereby we would see this up and down swings coming both the sides before we make a higher base. At least in the near term, 11,300 odd would be an important cushion, at least for the Nifty, and those would be the levels where we are still going to be bullish and will maintain a buy on dips approach. I sense as long as these support levels hold on, we could be in a broader range of 11,300 to 11,600, at least in the near term perspective. Bank Nifty too has a strong series of support around the levels of 29,200 to 29,000 on the lower side, and most of the stocks, which have already seen a good rally last couple of trading sessions, are nearing to its important support cluster. So I sense, since the indices are nearing to its important support zone, that we would want to maintain a positive bias, and if the support levels hold on is when we will get in and start accumulating stocks.
Ruchit, what about you? Your idea on the index and how would you trade it? Obviously, probably it's too if you
tomorrow. In terms of stock-specific strategies for the day, Manav, you go first. What do you have for our viewers?
Yes, I have two buy calls. My first buy call will be on Adani Power. In fact, we have seen this stock being a good outperformer recently and has also managed to exceed its recent swing highs. It's still managing to trade above the short-term averages today in spite of such volatile and weak markets. I sense on the near-term perspective there are important support around the levels of 66 and 67. We recommend a buy into this with a stop of 65 for an upside target of 74. And my second call is again a buy in Tata Global. This stock has been overall in a sideways trading band, but looking at the price structure and the setup by the oscillators, it's indicating that the stocks are in place to see an upside breakout from its trading range, and that is definitely providing a very good opportunity to even buy at current levels. Recommend a buy into this with a stop of 265 for an upside target of 300.
Okay, so those are two buy calls on Adani Power as well as Tata Global Beverages. Ruchit, what about you? Would you take any bet, because we are looking at some bit of volatility ahead of the expiry?
Yes, in fact, when we are looking at the chart of TCS, the stock has seen a series of decline from the peak of 2,300, and after a sharp fall of over 12% in a large cap stock, usually there is a mean reversion that comes into the picture, and especially when the stock is bouncing from its important support along with long-term averages. Currently, the prices are managing to close above its 200 EMA, and we've seen a good amount of volume and addition in open interest. I sense in the near term, looking at the volatility in the market, the IT space would just see a short-term trading bounce. I wouldn't take a bet on medium-term to long-term trading idea on this, but at least for a near-term, yes, there could be a short-term trading bounce that we could see, and this stock would act as a bellwether, at least in the near term. So on the upside, it's TCS could see a near-term rally towards 2130. HCL Technologies too is trying to form a strong base around the levels of 1020, and on a decisive break above 1060 would see a short-term trend reversal, which could see a near-term rally towards 1080 levels. So at the current zone, I would definitely go with TCS, as it is providing a very good risk reward.
Okay, going with TCS within the IT pack. Ruchit, I want to take your view on Power Grid, which is one of the top gainers in Nifty. The stock's also gone up on high volumes.
Oh, Manav?
See, this stock definitely has seen a very good run up, and if you're looking also the candlestick patterns, it is indicating that there is some profit booking which has been observed at higher levels. So on the upside, 475 to 480 are important resistance, and I believe anybody who's holding to its long positions, it's a good time to take some profits off the table. And even at the current zone, there is some lack of momentum, so I definitely don't recommend any fresh long positions. But I sense, at least in the near-term perspective, the prices would see a sideways consolidation, but it's a good time to take some profits off the table. On the lower side, 440 is an important support. Only a breach below that could see some additional profit booking, but overall, as looking at the current formations, I think it's good enough. We've already seen a good run-up rally into these stocks.
Okay. Ruchit, Sterlite Tech, 156 on the stock, had made highs of closer to 180, 186, didn't sustain, but is there more downside?
I think as we may see some more correction, which we have seen in last couple of days, that can extend to 148, 146 range in next 1 or 2 trading sessions. Ideally, if you look at some of the long-term charts, then on the long-term basis, the prices have seen a very sharp correction in last few months, and the pullback move again has retraced some of those losses. So 146, 148 could be seen in next maybe in tomorrow's trading session itself.
Okay, that's Sterlite Tech for you. We're going to pull up Arvind as well. It's fallen about 8 to 8.5%. This one too comes out of the F&O come Friday, and you will see these wild swings, bouts of volatility for all these stocks because there is some bit of unwinding pressure. Yesterday, we did see for Raymond how they were short covering, and IDBI continues to move higher ahead of that. So Arvind down about 8%, and even DLF, I just want to pinpoint, that's down 7% in trade right now. Almost not at the lowest point, mild bit of recovery, but still down quite sharply in trade. Let's get you some closing strategy then from our technical experts. Ruchit, any BTST or any STBT for tomorrow's session?
JSW Steel has seen some up move from the lower levels in last half an hour, so I think one can look to buy the stock from BTST, keeping stock below 226 and expect target somewhere around 240.
Manav, what about you?
Yes, I have a BTST on HUL. In fact, the prices have seen a very good momentum in spite of such volatile markets. It has been holding to its important support and seen a very good bounce from its intraday levels. Is likely to see a breakout in next couple of trading sessions. I recommend a buy into this. A stop loss of 2030 on the lower side for an upside target of 2100.
All right, HUL has come back into the green today after a period of lull in the afternoon session, so it's up about 0.5%. Yogesh, just comment on some of these divestment names in the FMCG pack are beneficiaries with regards to the top corporate tax cut, because they fall in that 33 to 36% bracket. Not all FMCGs, because some of them are actually even sub 20%, but these few could be key beneficiaries. Manav, anything else that you would like to highlight for us before we let you go?
See, we've seen good momentum coming in PVR. In fact, the prices have seen a very good breakout on the weekly and the monthly charts, and it is trying to hold on to its important support of 1800 levels. I sense in the near term, if there is an opportunity and the prices decline to these support, I think one can look to buy this on the dips, and eventually in the medium term perspective, we could see this stock rallying towards the 1950 to 2000 levels in the medium term.
Okay, that's Tata Global Beverages for you. Just to highlight a few more stocks. DLF, you already highlight. LIC Housing Finance is also down about 6%.